It's Wednesday, May the 10th. Before I get into the fishing report, a friend of mine asked me to tell you about this tournament that's coming to Table Rock this coming Saturday. It's sap and bass. I don't know all the particulars on it, but he said they're giving away a fully rigged Sea Arc with a 250 Yamaha. They're not giving it away, first place prize, that's what it is. But as far as the entries and stuff, I don't know. You can go online and get the information. But I don't think it's been publicized that well. So it's probably going to be an event that's not going to have that many boats. So you're going to have real good odds of winning $75,000. So if you're thinking about fishing a tournament this weekend, you need to check it out. So that's sap and bass. But as far as the lake level is up about 6 inches from what it was last week. It's 914 3/4. The water temperature is what's made a huge jump. You know, it's come up 10 degrees. It's 67 to, you know, some places late in the day, a little over 70 degrees. Now, last week I thought, you know, I told you, I thought the spawn was far from being done, that there was another big wave of fish coming in. Well, I guess I was wrong, because we've had gorgeous weather and a full moon, and I've seen a few new beds, but very few. So I think, you know, the better part of the spawn is over and done with. I think that little warm front we had, you know, a few weeks ago, they came in, got it done in a couple weeks, and you know, they're pretty much done. So a lot of the fish are kind of in a post-spawn funk right now. Normally when the spawn drags on for a long time, you've got fish coming and going. And like I say, I think the majority of them are done. But a good thing that is happening is last weekend, a shad spawn started. And if you're not familiar with that, you know, what happens when that water gets close to 70 degrees, the shad starts spawning. And I don't know if you've been out on your boat dock, you know, especially early in the morning, the first few hours, it's real good. But you'll see the shad going like crazy, and even right before dark, you'll see them up on surface, all in big schools. Well, what they're doing is they're laying their eggs. Every day I've come in, I've got eggs all over my engine, the back of the boat, and they actually lay their eggs on like the styrofoam on the docks. They'll lay it on the timber, especially hardwood trees, and they'll lay them on rocks right up on the bank. But what that's been doing, if you're in an area where there's fish around and that shad spawn is going on, the topwater bite has been really awesome. Now, a lot of times I've had to run to 2 or 3 places to find the fish and the shad together in the morning. I've had some areas where I've found tons of shad, not too many fish, and then I've found the right combination. And you know, where them shad are all over the place like that, some of them fish are out there over a deeper timber, some of them around the boat docks, and some of them are in them gravel pockets where the fish just got through spawning on them flats. And the way I've been catching a lot of them is, I think there's several different ways you can catch them, but the way, you know, we've been catching them the past 4 or 5 days is topwater baits, and been throwing a lot of like a Berkeley surge shad, walking bait like a Zara spook, and also popping baits. This is a E-Pop 80 by Spro. If you want a little bit smaller bait, like a Strike King Splash It, or even like a Yellow Magic. But it seems like the popping baits and the walking baits are working a little bit better for us. You want to make a lot of noise, but not move the bait real fast. So I don't think like a whopper plop or a buzz bait. Seems like you need to hold it over the fish's head a little bit and make a little commotion. But you know, that's yesterday it didn't last as long in the morning. The sun got up early, but today and the day before yesterday, I mean, it lasted up to about 10 o'clock, and then periodically through the day we could still get bit on topwater. Another bait that's been working in the same areas for me, like I said, I think you could throw like a white jig. I think you can throw a chatterbait or a spinnerbait. There's anything that resembles a shad, I think will work. I haven't had that much luck with a swim bait underneath the shad. It seems like I'm doing better on top of them. But a square bill has been working real good. I've been throwing it's a Hunter 65. It's also a Spro, but it's about the size between like a Strike King 1.5 and a 2.5, which will also work. Just need to take your favorite square bill, but I've had real good luck with this. And we're fishing this in a lot of the areas that we were last week, like Ned rigging, split shot, drop shot, and back in there where the fish are spawning. Also around any kind of timber, laydowns and stumps. I've been in, see, day before yesterday I was up around Campbell Point area where the water's a little off colored. Yesterday and today I was up in the mid-James where the water's a little bit off colored. I think it'll work in the clear water if you got some overcast, but the last 3 days I've been in arms of the lake that got, visibility of a couple feet. But any piece of structure that we're seeing, and they'll bite this throughout the day. It's not just during the shad spawn. And all my better quality fish, the fish we're catching now are getting, starting to get fattened up. They're a little bit bigger, but most of my better quality bites have been coming on the square bill. Top water fish, I'm starting to catch quite a few more largemouth. And some of them are pretty lean, but they're getting out there and feeding up on some of that bait, fattening up after the spawn. As far as the split shot bite, fluke bite, that's kind of been leaving me. I mean, we're still catching some fish on it, but seems like you got to catch 4 or 5 short fish to catch a keeper. And when you do catch a keeper, they're not very big. They're stressed out from spawning. But that bite, to me, seems to be getting harder and harder. There should be some fish showing up offshore, a little bit further out on these points. And today, we started catching some, like on a 5-fish ultimate finesse jig, a 9/16 jig with like a little critter craw or a small twin tail bait for a trailer. And we're catching them anywhere from 8 to about 15 foot. Now, I think as more of them fish get rested up, there should be more of that fish moving, offshore. The warmer the water gets, the deeper they're going to start to go. But we're throwing a football jig some. Also a Carolina rig with a lizard and a French fry will work. But look for that bite to get better and better. But right now, that shad spawn, it usually lasts a week to 2 weeks. So it's really a fun time to get out there and catch a bunch of topwater fish. Even, right before dark, an hour or two before dark, you can catch them on top. And they're kind of scattered all over the lake. Tomorrow we're going to go down lake and see if we can start catching them smallmouths the same way. We've been catching primarily largemouths and Kentuckys up here in the stained water, but looks like it's going to be kind of nasty, so be a good day to be down in the clear water. So till next week, good luck, good fishing.